9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to the podcast from Doug Ground Up Productions with hosts Lady Miz and Ray. This is a universal platform, and there is nothing off limits. We talk about it all, and we keep it real. This is a no judgment zone, so come as you are. If you are a professional, entertainer, author, comedian, entrepreneur, or just someone who wants to get something off their chest, well, let your voice be heard here on From the Ground Up Productions. Sponsorship and other opportunities are available from the Ground Up Productions. Turning nothing into something. There's only one way to go from here. And now, here are your hosts, Lady Miz and Ray.
Yeah, what's good, people? Y'all already know what it is. Happy Monday. I be forgetting the days, you know what I'm saying? Because we here on a regular basis, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, happy Monday. What's good, people? It's your girl, Lady Miz, and this is my host,
Ray, y'all.
The Silent Assassin, baby.
Ray.
So y'all tune in to From the Ground Up Productions. There's only one way to go from here. And I want to shout out everybody who's always there to support us and all of that good stuff. Before we get into this topic today, I just want to let the viewers and the listeners know, or for those who do not know, what the show From the Ground Up Production is about. So we are a podcast where we interview different entertainers, business owners, entrepreneurs, and legends. And we also discuss topics on this show. The purpose of this show is for us to educate our viewers. And we do that by speaking to other people and also bringing our knowledge and what we know to the forefront to share with you guys. The great thing about it is for most of our viewers that tune in, they always have good comments and stuff and value that they bring to the show as well. So you're getting a variety of everything going on at once. Today's topic, we actually had to do a cancellation for one of the people that was supposed to show today. So we stay ready. So we ain't got to get ready, right? So today's topic is about gang culture and how it affects hip hop. Oh, this is going to be a good one. Big shout out to Eddie OJ for giving me this idea. I think that this is a great topic that we should be talking about. And I'm going to be playing a video. We're going to be playing a video on someone speaking on this. But y'all already know, before we get started, we always like to start with our commercial to let y'all know that we have our own network on Roku. And if you guys are looking to get your content on our TV network, it's called From the Ground Up Productions TV. Okay, so you can watch us live on YouTube, but we are also live on Roku at the same time. And our content stay up there for you guys to see it. So if you missed it, you can always go back. But
it's also on all the streaming platforms too.
Absolutely. We are on all the streaming platforms like Apple, Spotify, Pandora, whatever, however you listen, we are there as well. iHeartRadio, the whole 9 yards, y'all. So that's right. If you can't see us, you can hear us. So without further ado, let's get into that commercial. This is for content creators. So listen up.
Are you a content creator? Do you make music videos, short films, documentaries, web series, kids shows, movies, stand-up comedy, visual podcast, educational shows, or sports? Are you a fitness instructor or gamer? Do you record church ceremonies or report news? If so, contact From the Ground Up Productions TV by email at fromthegroundupproductions@gmail.com. For more information on getting your content played on our network on Roku, where there are over 85 million viewers and growing. No more being limited or blocked on social media from the content you post and create. Get the freedom to be you without restrictions from controlled social media. And if you want to run your ads or sponsor our network, contact us now at fromthegroundupproductions@gmail.com to get started now.
Yes.
You're now tuned in to From the Ground Up Productions. Broadcasting around the world.
Let's get it. Y'all already know what it is. From the Ground Up Productions, we back, baby. Let's go. This topic today is a touchy one. Honestly, I'm going to say, for me, it's going to be addressing the ugly truth, because the truth of the matter is a lot of people don't really like to really talk about certain situations, or they don't want to really face some of the shit that's true. You understand? But we're going to get to the bottom of this tonight. This ain't talk therapy though, but that might be tomorrow or next week. But we're going to get into that. Big shout out to UNG radio station. I see you, my brother over there on the West Coast, my brother from another mother doing his thing. Absolutely. I'm glad you love this topic. I got to actually give all the credit to Eddie OJ, because he actually brought this to my attention, and I was going to do it last week, but we decided to do it this week. So big shout out to him. Big shout out to Sonia on the check-in, Mikey D on the check-in, Eddie OJ, I see you, and whoever else is there. Big up to y'all. So listen, let me ask, I guess I'm gonna start with a question. And guys, I took a clip of a video of a guy speaking. We are going to dissect this piece by piece by piece. Big shout out to Town Mama. I see you on the check-in, Mama. Guys, if you haven't already, make sure you share this live right now. Share it on your social medias or with people that you may know. And if you haven't, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hit that notification button. And if you have Roku, add our network to your TV list. We're under From the Ground Up Productions TV. As I was saying, we're going to open up the phone lines, because I'm sure that y'all have some good things that y'all want to add to this show. Okay. Big shout out to Lady Z in the building. I see you. But check it. Let me ask you, how do you feel about that statement about gun violence or gang culture and how it affects hip hop? Do you think it even affects hip hop at all?
I got mixed feelings about it.
Here we go. It's about to go down here. Y'all ready? He's starting early. What's your feelings about it?
It's a mixture of things. Yes, gang influence has a little role in it, but I think the picture is bigger than just the gangs. Okay, so what do you think? I would say social media, the social media influence. I would say social media plays a role. TV plays a role. It's a mixture of everything, you know. Okay. You got to also remember the message that's put out there. Okay. That we accept in our community on a regular basis. Okay. Well, I'm going to tell you that I believe that it plays a major role. And I think that I'm going to keep it real. Like, listen, y'all can call me what y'all want to call me. You can call me a sellout. I don't care what you call me. What I'm going to do, I'm not going to bite my tongue, and I'm going to tell the truth. Even if that means that I'm speaking against myself. All right. So I think that we are the problem. I think that we promote it. I think we promote it. I think we embrace it. I think we celebrate it. I think that we are a part of the problem. I'm going to tell you, it's just like I watched one time. I can't remember if it was Love and Hip Hop or Basketball Wives. One of them shows, one of the ladies on the show was like, I'm upset because I don't like the way I'm being portrayed in this reality show, right? And the first thing that I thought was, you gave them the content to do that. They didn't just take it and you not know, what do you call them things that appear when you're not really there? A hologram. Yeah. Hologram, right. This is not fake. You did that shit. So basically, at the end of the day, you can't blame somebody else for the actions that you do. So if you giving them the content, they're going to take what they got and they're going to put it out there. If you never gave them that to begin with, they will have no content to use. So it's really, in my opinion, about taking responsibility for what you do and what you put out there and what we promote. We can't be like, what's wrong with our young kids when they dying at an alarming rate if we are not being leaders in our community and standing up and all of that. So listen, look, we're going to get into it. I can't say that. What's popping, Wesley? You never sent me your address so I can send you them chips, my brother. You can't? No, I say this. Look, there's a lot of really good talent out here, right? Uh-huh. But when you have the music industry controlling what's out there, and the way even Town Mama said it here is
Mm-hmm.
It's what people think wants to be heard because that's what's on the radio. And as long as it's being controlled by somebody else,
Mm-hmm.
it's always going to be the message. It's like a commercial. If you may not want a Coca-Cola until you actually see the commercial,
Okay.
So it's the same thing with hip hop. If it's constantly played, everybody wants to get out the hood, right? And some people think that that's the way to do it.
Right, absolutely. I ain't knocking nobody for trying to get out the hood. See, we got to understand this. First of all, I'm not knocking nobody. You got to do what you got to do. It's like a person that get caught stealing, but they were stealing food just so they can eat or feed their kid, right? So it's like, okay, you don't really lock a person up for that. You find other ways and resources to help fix it, right? To help maybe give that person a job, find out how you can help them so that they can get food and they don't have to steal. Survival of the fittest, in a sense. I'm laughing at Eddie OJ. He said Ray got mixed feelings about everything.
Yeah,
okay. He don't want to agree with shit I got to say. Okay, it's all good.
And Mikey D said, look, the corporate always promotes and capitalizes off the hood business.
Absolutely.
And the rappers are reporting what goes on in the hood.
That's very true. That's very true. I agree with that as well. And Wesley said that look at the generations of hip hop. Good point. Let's start with playing us a part of the video that we got.
You want to play a part of it?
Yeah, no. We're gonna play a part. Oh wait, can we go back? Like, are we able to go back when we play it? Or
I'm not sure, but we can figure it out.
Okay, let's figure it out. Let's play some of this, and then we're gonna talk about this, and then we're gonna open up the phone lines so y'all could join in on this conversation. Let's get it.
Sponsors that play the role of hypersexualized, hypercriminalized male. I asked these advertisers, I say, I've got hundreds of songs a day that celebrate killing animals. Will you put them on your station? They said, no. I got hundreds of songs a day that talk about assaulting women and abusing kids. Would you put them on your station? They said, no. I said, I got hundreds of songs a day that talk about murdering blacks. Would you put them on your stations? They said, well, that depends. Depends on what? Who it's done by and who it's branded for. Because if we can get black folks to sing about it and we can brand it for our youngest black audiences, I think there's money to be made. I think there's American appetites to see these people that way. I said, how can you say that? They said, well, look, it's what these artists know. It's what black people, create. It's, matter of fact, our surveys say it's what they want to hear, which speaks of a sickness. How do we live in a society where somebody says, you know what, I'm inspired to write a song that celebrates murdering another person. And then a person says, I'd like to put that on my station. Another person said, I'd like to pay for it. And then there's people out here in the audience that go, I'd love to hear it, as long as it's black guys. Because even white people buy rap music, buy this type of stuff, because we know that when we want to hear about killing each other, we know who to turn to for that type of inspiration. We call it our music. We say we own it. White people buy more rap than black people. Yeah, but we're very careful to turn it down at the stoplight when other black people are there. Why? Because we know we're just pretending. For them, it's more authentic and real. I always ask the companies, what about your name? What about your brand? What about your value? And the largest radio company in the world said this: it's okay that we only have drug dealers on our black youth stations. We only have murders on our black youth stations. We support black charities. We give out water at the Martin Luther King parade. I think we've got it covered. We've bought them off. Now, people get upset, the smartest guys in the room again. You're talking about censorship. I don't believe that.
All right, we're gonna pause right there. Let's discuss that right there. This guy, that was a TED Talk. Big shout out to Mikey D. That right there was a TED Talk. That was on your show the other day. You were talking about that, and that's what that was. So let me just say this, okay? I agree with everything what that guy is saying, okay? And again, we don't have to make it be fully about racism in a sense, because at the end of the day, there are white people who is also standing up saying, yo, this is, hold on, guys, hold on. Ray, you chewing the hell out of that gum in the microphone. All I hear, I can't take it no more. Take the gum out your mouth, okay? I can't.
It's how I gotta keep, I got these allergies, it's killing the hell out of me, so I gotta focus on something.
I'm like, no, I can't do it. Okay, that shit was getting on my nerves. All right, so let me just first say, if you look at the first thing that he stated there, okay, number one, they wouldn't accept anything.
You're not going to have rape culture. You're not going to talk about killing animals. They got a whole long list of stuff that is unacceptable where people stand up against and say, we will not allow this type of stuff to be played on our station or to rep our brand. But when they say Black people killing Black people, right? When they talk about that,
it's not right.
Yeah, when they talk about that right there alone is like, okay, hold up. That's okay. That's okay. We should not be doing that. Okay? We shouldn't be doing that. I'm sorry, something just threw me completely off, y'all, and I kind of lost my whole train of thought. But anyway, at the end of the day, when we talk about that one specific thing that he was discussing, they said it depends on who's saying it and who is being marketed to. And then I like how he broke down that there's a group of people that like it. There's somebody that says, I would love to invest in it. Then there's somebody that says, I want to buy it. So let's see, where is the real problem coming from? Where the hell is the problem coming from? And in my opinion, it starts with us. Okay, it starts with us. I'm sorry. I know people might say, well, this is how we make it out the hood. Well, our hood is dying and our kids is dying based off of gang culture, based off of what we put out there. So it's almost like having bad food. We could talk about all the GMOs in the food, how bad the stuff is in American food that's not allowed in other countries, that's banned. But the fact of the matter is, if there's a demand for it, right? Then they're going to keep creating it because they say this is what the people want.
I can't say it's a demand for it. It's not a demand for it when it's the only thing that's out there. I'm not gonna say not the only thing that's out there, but it's the only thing that's promoted. So you can't say there's the demand for something when it's limited on what they're promoting. Like you got good artists out, Mikey D, you got Cash, you got good artists that they may not put on the mainstream because they're not talking about what they want them to talk about.
I think that we all, everybody that you even mentioned, we have a majority of mixture of all of that. We talk shit in the music as well.
But they're not going to put somebody who's not talking about shooting and killing regularly on your radio station every day. You hear what's this song Super Gremlin? Until I actually listen to the words, I'm like, God damn, our kids is actually listening to that first thing in the morning and after school. Why do you think they're angry? Why do you think that's what they're killing? Because that's what's being promoted to them every day on repeat.
Right.
So it's not a demand. It's not like they're
asking
for it.
It is a demand. It is a demand.
It's being forced.
Okay, it's being forced on people who want it. So let me say this. They are looking at, because these people look at numbers, okay? Just like on your social media. And this is why people buy fake numbers on social media. These people look and they respect numbers. So when they see right now, if you go to the ratchetest shit on Facebook or Instagram right now, where somebody is doing crazy ratchet stuff with guns and twerking and all types of stuff, how many views do you think that you're going to see there versus somebody that's actually talking about things that has content that uplifts a community or uplifts the people in general?
That's my point. And you, just like any algorithm, they're going to put what they think people want to see.
Bingo. That's my point.
What they think. But you got to also remember.
It's not what they think. It's what they really want to see.
No, it's not. Because I'll give you an example.
I can't tell.
I'll give you an example. TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
TikTok in China, they control what's being put out there. We cannot say that Instagram and Facebook is not, and even YouTube is not in some way controlling what goes out there.
Oh, it's over there. I don't know about all that.
Because I even bring out the point I remember back when YouTube really first started popping off, and most of the time all YouTube was nothing but fighting on there. Mm-hmm. People demanded, "Hey, YouTube, you got to cut that off." YouTube said no.
Okay,
but they will stop you if you talk about if they show somebody beating up a dog.
Yes, there you go. So it goes right back to my point then.
But it goes back to who's in control. Who controls the message?
Okay, right.
Because if there is not a message out there for people to want, and they have to
you got
listen, you didn't let me finish. For people to want, and they have to, we got to remember, people are lazy. So if they know they got to look for that ratchet shit everywhere, they're not going to spend a lot of time looking for it. But when it's readily available, you can't blame nobody for saying, "Oh, let me click or see what he wants." I don't watch fight videos, but every now and then I'm like, "Oh shit!" It's all about what's there.
Right. Put the number up on the screen. For the call in. While you doing that, can you put Mikey D's comment back up there right before you do that? So Mikey D said, our kids are being programmed. That's why the stations have program directors. Absolutely. I 100% agree with that. The guys, the call you, if you want to call in, the number's up there on the screen. You could call in, and say your part, how you feel about the situation. Everything is programming, from music to television and all of that stuff, right? But I agree with you as far as the people that's controlling it. But I do believe that it has to come to some point where the people don't want it. Right. And you gotta want better. See, I'm going back to the people. All right, let's go to a person, a addict, right? You can't sell me some shit that I don't want.
Exactly.
Okay.
But you got to remember, I grew up in that era. I also know when they were out here handing out that shit like it was candy to little kids just to get them addicted.
Okay, that's a whole nother problem. That's a whole nother issue.
So, and it's the same thing they're doing with music. It's the same thing we're doing with music. You cannot say that if the promoters stop promoting the music, because right now these kids think you got one person who's popular off it, and then you got one kid thinking, hey, that's when people want to hear, so let me make it. Somebody else makes it, go, oh snap, that's what somebody else is. And exactly. So as long as there is somebody saying, hey, we'll play that, we'll pay you for making that, it's just going to be somebody who does it. But when you stop paying people, they're not going to do it no more.
Right. I get it. Wesley, real quick, before we even put the caller on, if that's the caller, Wesley says safe music don't sell, acts will. But when it got played on Disney, it sells. Great point, because they know who majority of the people that are watching Disney, and they're not marketing that. They're not going to market certain things to their kids. And honestly, I can't blame them. Like I remember I used to think it was racist for people to say, oh, they don't want hip hop, this and that. But when you think about some of the things that was being spoken in the music, is it really racism, or is it really just the fact that you don't want your kids internalizing things that could be toxic for them in a sense? And I'm not saying that in all ways as far as hip hop. I love hip hop. I grew up on hip hop. I rap my damn self, right? But at the same time, we have to take a stand as far as being the leaders when it comes to our kids. You got join on there? Okay. Is the call on there?
No.
Oh, we missed it. Okay. So
no, that wasn't a call.
Oh, okay. All right. UNG Radio. He said Ray going in tonight. He ain't playing. All right. So hold on.
It was up already.
Oh, okay. So yeah, as far as I'm concerned, right, when it comes to this specific type of thing, I think that there has to be accountability on all aspects, because look at all the kids that are dying at an alarming rate because, first of all, let's bring it to the drill music. But we don't even want to totally blame everything on drill music, because we had that growing up too. We can't act like our generation didn't promote that type of stuff, because it did.
But, and I'm going to say it to you again, there were people who spoke out against it. Rappers who spoke out against it. There's a difference now. A lot of people are, if they're scared of how it's going to affect them financially if they speak about what's wrong with hip hop.
You said they. Or the ones that's not speaking up?
Yeah.
Okay. Now let's dissect that a little bit. Why? Okay. Because of survival, because of eating, right? So now let me address that. If you're afraid to speak out against something that you know can be a destruction to you, your people, and your community, then you have to find other ways and resources to be able to say, you know what? Okay, go ahead. So you got to find other resources to be able to create your own so that you can be in control. You understand? You have to be in control at some point. If everybody's sitting around waiting for somebody to give them an opportunity and saying, give me an opportunity so I can eat. Why don't you create your own research so that you can freaking provide your own, know how to grow your own food? So you ain't got to ask nobody else to feed you. You understand what I'm saying? So anyway, caller, state your name and where you calling from. What happened? Did we lose it?
Yep.
I heard him talking, but then it went off. Caller, you there? Hello. Okay. Is that the same number? So take it. I don't know what happened to the first caller. It sounded like it went out. Let's see. Okay, caller, state your name where you calling from, but please turn down your volume wherever you're listening to it. We have a feedback.
UNG Radio.
Wes.
What's up, Wes? Can you turn that down in the back?
Yep,
there we go.
I turned it down.
All right.
Okay.
All right, Wes. I know you got. So tell me what you thinking, my brother.
So being in the industry, we looked at several factors. And when I say look at the generations, you look at hip hop in the 80s and the 70s during its infancy, and you look at where it came to now. There was no YouTube back then to influence it. So a lot of young kids that can't get into the studio and pay that kind of money, YouTube is now the gateway for them to be able to make that money, to get it out there.
Okay.
People like Will Smith, the clean, he wouldn't put heavy hip hop out there because he knew it wouldn't sell. But when he realized the parents were paying for the music, if you listen to any one of his albums, there's no real cursing in there. He went to Disney with it and started selling records because he realized, even though we say racism isn't a factor, he realized exactly who was buying his music. It was the parents buying his music.
Okay.
Hot 97, any of those New York big radio stations, they're not going to play Will Smith. But you'll never see DMX on Disney.
I like that. I like that a lot. Okay. I don't know. Can we get two people on that line?
Yeah, I think so. Let me see.
Hold on. I think we got another caller. We're gonna try to bring two. You gotta accept, and then you gotta merge. We lost somebody.
Yeah, we lost both of them.
Oh, sorry. I am so sorry. If you want to call back, I apologize. I'm not sure why it clicked off. Maybe we can't add two people. We should be able to.
That was
but I'm not sure what happened. Wesley, if you want to call back, you could call back, my brother. I apologize. Or you could try to hit him back. But he made a really, really good point. That point was really good because Will Smith, but I really would like him to get back on because I want to address that with him. Wesley?
Yeah.
I don't know what happened.
So we just got cut off.
Yeah, so you said that Will Smith went to Disney because he realized that the parents was buying the music and not the kids. And and we won't find the DMX or something like that. Now, tell me why you think that we will not find the DMX on Disney.
Because parents are more in tune with their kids that monitor their kids on Disney. They're not going to let them, and Disney's not going to let themselves be associated with that. With that rough, rugged inner city style. They want the safe music that parents feel comfortable buying.
Yes.
At the end of the day, you look at the record company and he's like, you said about numbers, there's your numbers right there. I would run with Disney, put clean music out because I know I'm selling to a certain demographic. But if I want to come into the inner city, I would use YouTube as a gateway because these kids really can't afford to go into a studio and pay what it really costs. And you know from music yourself what it costs to create music. They can't do that. So guess what? In this generation, YouTube became the gateway.
Right.
Inner city kids that don't even have to really leave their block, get a group together, make a beat, and run it through YouTube. Now you got all your friends buying into it. YouTube is like, I like this. We're getting traffic. Let's figure out what to do with him next. If you look at Young Ma, she did the same thing. She wouldn't sign with a record label. She went through YouTube. And look where she's at now. But you're not going to hear her music anyplace else except YouTube.
So what you think about
it? Well, it's a fact because, when I tell you this all the time, Black death in America is very financial for everybody.
Okay.
For everybody but Black people. It is.
Okay.
It definitely is. It's, you know, so now here's the next generation. You make an inner city song in your hood, and they tell you when you make it, get out. But for some can't get out, what do they end up doing? Like this gentleman just said, they kill each other off when they start to make a little bit of something. When they start to come up, they tear them right back down.
Absolutely.
And you would look at there's one record label where 4 artists on the record label got killed. So you gotta actually figure out who was actually starting these problems, because back in the day they used to start issues with rappers. They started issue because we know it'll generate something.
Yes.
And you take big artists like LL Cool J and Kool Moe Dee. Yeah, they had a beef, but at the end of the day, the beef was designed to sell music.
Yep.
Right.
You know,
good point.
It's a creative way in the labels. You look at Bad Boy Records. He was inner city, but he was also part of his label. That made him a little bit different. He had the means to do that because he came up in the industry. Now, like you said, the 17 to 18-year-olds, like you're shooting a video. A video is not cheap option if you're doing production and all of that. But now you can get a 4K camera, stand on the corner, and make a video, upload it to YouTube. You 18 and over, they filter it right there. After you get so many hits, you get a plaque. You've got your gateway.
Yeah, and you got to also remember, compared to back in our day, in order for something to spread, it took a while. These kids now could commit a murder on Instagram, and within minutes, it's all over the world.
I had a relative signed to death row, but his mother realized, if I let you sign to death row, I'm going to lose you. So she took that part from him. He was scheduled to go out and sign with death row. He even gave me the demo, but she said, I know what's going to happen if I let you go. And she's a social worker. She wouldn't let him sign, and he lost the opportunity. But this generation now, they figured it out. Okay, I can't do it financially, but I know how. But big record makers, your big Sony producers and stuff like that, they know exactly what they want. So they took somebody like DMX, and they knew exactly where to push him with his music, but they couldn't control his music. That's why he never went mainstream, but he sold a lot of music to the inner city because they supported him.
You also got to remember, back in our day, when when music was being played, it was actually sometimes, depending on the level of violence or how graphic it was or what was being said on it, you had stations like MTV After Dark. This wasn't being played during the day.
Right. After dark. Absolutely.
So now there's a difference. Now this stuff is being played all day. Like I said, these kids is waking up. You don't even have, because right now, radio stations, TV stations realize when YouTube came out, we can't compete with them because these kids have access to it anytime they want it. So we got to compete with them by playing it at the same time, the same way they could find it on YouTube.
Yep. All right. Okay. I agree. And Wes, thank you so much for calling in and giving us your feedback. We definitely appreciate that. You always got great value to give to the show. And we appreciate you for calling in and giving us that value because people need to hear it. Yes, absolutely.
I promise I will get you my information. I know I was behind.
No, it's okay.
You send me your email.
Yes.
I can put my email up there and you can send it to me.
Oh, put it in the comment. Don't put it in here.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Okay.
Good speaking to you.
All right. Good talking to you too. Thanks for calling in. All right. We are going to go in and call Eddie OJ. Not sure. We gotta see if we can get 2 people on the line at once, but we'll work on that afterwards. Let's see if we could get Eddie OJ on the line.
Yeah.
Hey,
What's
OJ,
good?
what's up?
Yes.
Yes. So listen, first of all, I want to thank you because this was your idea. You brought it to my attention to talk about this.
Ma'am.
And this video that I played a small clip of it, I had seen that maybe a year or 2 ago. And I was like, this is so perfect because everything he's saying is so damn true. So I felt that, that and this topic would go so well together. So we want to hear your take on how you feel about this.
That video was good. He's talking about he's really just saying how the black community is targeted, because we always like to keep it gangster.
Mm-hmm.
And like Chris Rock said, black people keep it real stupid. You know what I mean? When it comes to certain things, we keep it real stupid. We keep it real, a lot of times ghetto. You know what I'm saying? Because we feel like to be authentic, we have to show how hood we can be, how gangster we can be.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
That's a problem with our community. Like when I see the little kids dancing and tell them about, oh, that bitch look good. I don't like stuff like that. They got the little kids, like the little kid had his pants down, telling me, I'm your daddy, See, we glorify stupidity. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
As black people, we glorify stupidity all the time. Now,
we're not the only ones. We're not the only ones.
But it's more detrimental to us because we're the ones that's chosen to be held with the foot on our neck.
Yep, that's
absolutely.
So when we portray ourselves like that, they go, yeah, look at the niggas acting stupid. They love it. They love it. Just like now, my take on what they're talking about. My take was totally different because we were talking about gang culture in music. Okay. They're talking about being a gangster on a record. I wasn't talking about that. What I was talking about is how, we used to have crews. We had the TNT crew. We had crews, rappers crews, like Heavy D and the crew, Heavy D and the boys. Now we always had homeboys that was with us that had our back, right? Like we had a few fighters and stuff like that, and to make sure, like, if anything happened. I'm talking about when the gang culture infiltrated hip hop, when it became like a Blood and a Crip type of venue, like when once it came from the gang side, like when NWA came into the building and when Suge and them came in the building, it was MOB, it was blood, right? So everybody started, if you notice all the little dudes with all the guns in their videos, and they get gang.
Right.
Right.
Everything was gang.
Like how Tekashi got in trouble, like how 50 Cent said, yo, you hear him say gang. 50 Cent said, I'm a businessman. So when he said gang, I do not gang bang. So I don't say gang.
Yes.
So he don't tie himself to that. Because he know once the feds come in, I had a dude down here, they was calling themselves G Unit, and they wasn't even a gang. They was just a bunch of dudes selling drugs, and they started calling themselves G Unit. And they got so popular down here that 50 called in and he said, I don't know them dudes. I do not know them dudes. Yo, for real. And I'm in a small town, but they was terrorizing the town. They made it big. They made it so big, they was on the cover of Charlotte's newspaper. There was some dudes that I knew. I knew the dude that was the leader of that whole thing, and they was because he was a dude that will put one in you, and he had people in the hood was paying him money to keep make sure nothing happened to my house and all that. Dude was my man though, he got in trouble, but 50 they called down. He was like, those dudes are not affiliated with me because they was calling themselves the G Unit. But to get back to what I was saying. Well, yeah, when the gang thing came in, okay, we all know what Suge is, right? Suge was a big time, he's a big blood guy. Okay. Once the gang thing came in, then you see Snoop Crip walking at the Super Bowl with his Crip clothes on. I'm talking about that type of a gang culture where if a rapper now, say you got a dude and he's coming at somebody. Dude said that, dude made a point with Mo D. Who he said when Mo D and who was going at each other?
Who? I don't remember. I don't know.
He said Mo D and
LL.
He said
Wesley when he called in. Oh, okay.
Yeah, LL.
Yes.
Yeah, he said Mo D and L.
Yes.
Mo D and LL. Let me tell you something about that. It's not just that it was manufactured to be a nice battle. No, it wasn't. They was going in on each other, right? Because LL ripped up a bunch of people. It's just that the climate was different then. The climate was different. LL ripped up Ice-T, Mo D, and Ham on the same record. But the climate was different. You had young men that at the end of the day, they knew it was just, I'm just rapping, using my skills to take you out.
Right.
Once the gang culture come in, the same little stuff that he said then, if you would say it now, embarrass these dudes, homeboys, they'd be like, yo, when I see that dude, I'm going to see him. You ain't got to see him, but we going to see him because this is our culture. You ain't going to diss my man. Mikey D made a point about that in his DVD a long time ago. He said, back when we used to rap battle, you know, we battle, we drink a beer, we slap hands, and it's all good. That's how it was then. It was a party vibe. It was about skills. Now, when you introduce a gang culture, gang members take everything to the heart, like Mikey D said. Now you go to a something now, and you got a record out about this man, and this man is a gangster disciple. That nigga just talked about my boss, and this is the life we live. These dudes is real with gang culture. That's where I was coming from. I'm not talking about making a record, talking a bunch of crap. I'm talking about the gang culture.
I'm tying it, Eddie OJ, all together because I think it goes hand in hand. In my opinion, he's shaking his head. No, I'm gonna tell you, this is my opinion. I think it goes hand in hand. You got somebody that is promoting it. You got somebody that is creating it. Okay, so you got the people in the street that's doing it, but there's a root to the issue here. Where's the root?
Only thing I'm saying now. It's like when you got certain dudes, it's like you got the little dudes that's on top. A lot of them are tied in, you know, really deep. So somebody know that, okay, if Little Dirk say something about so-and-so, they got Little Dirk and NBA Youngboy, and they talking about, well, we're going to see him. Those dudes are affiliated. So it's not like you just made a record. It's like you made a declaration of war. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
gotcha.
And you know, here's the thing about it, and I'm gonna be honest with it. Real gangsters aren't doing that on no music. That's the difference. Some of these kids that, because unfortunately and unfairly, you know, I'm not gonna say the gangs are the great thing for the community,
right?
But you got a lot of these kids who claim a set just to be cool and may not even be a part of the set.
No, that's right.
And then they're doing stuff in the name of a gang that they don't even be a part of.
That's right. And they just wake up. They just wake up and say, I'm in the South, man. You got so many dudes down here to say, I'm this, I'm that. You know what I'm saying? because they want to be in that. But I was talking about once it came in, that's why dudes now, like, that's why rappers get killed all the time, because a lot of those dudes that be getting popped up, they claim gang, they be on their record, it's gang, they and a lot of them.
Well, let me say this. Hold up a second. Where is the leadership?
Oh well.
In jail.
No. We're not gonna brush this off. Wait, hold up. No.
I'm explaining to you. You asked for where the leadership is.
Where is the leadership in this whole situation? Wait, before you say that, let me just finish my statement. Big shout out to Cal Cutter on the check-in. I see you, Cal. Listen, here's the deal. We're talking about like the younger kids, the generation, the gang culture, right? No disrespect to Snoop, because I'm a Snoop Dogg fan.
It's not disrespect.
Just let me finish. No disrespect to Snoop, right? But he is what we would consider to be the older generation now, right? The big homie in a sense, right? Who and where is the leadership to teach these kids different? Because in my opinion, and then y'all can answer, let me give you my opinion. My opinion is the adults are glorifying it and the kids are also following. I don't see the adults are afraid to speak up and stand against because they ain't gonna get that many views, and they want views just like the damn kids do, right? They ain't gonna get that many followers. They're not gonna be that popular, right? So where the hell is the damn adults and the grown-ups that should be taking a stand? Where's the leadership? I want y'all to tell me where they at.
I'm about to explain to you. Real gang leaders, the ones when the gangs were really organized, where you had to actually speak to somebody before you did something to somebody, is sitting in jail. The reason these guys are doing long term and staying in jail for long term, because they know if they come out, they can fix the gang culture where these kids will be. It would not be these kids running wild,
right?
You know, and then that's the issue here. Go ahead.
Hey Ray,
Mm-hmm.
you ever listen to, like, I listen to a lot of podcast shows, and when they have certain artists in, like I listen to what's my man's name? He's a big dude. He managed Tekashi now, and they be doing what's his name? Whack 100 and them. I listen to them guys talk. You know, when they talk about, yo, so and so can't come up here if he don't check in. Those are major artists. It's like you got to call ahead before you come to certain cities. You got to check in with certain. That's what I'm talking about. That's a culture. That is a culture.
Right.
That's a culture that didn't exist before, when you just had artists. Well, I got a show and I'm going to Chicago. I got a show. I'm going to Cali. Now you have certain artists that, if they're not connected with certain people in certain cities, they can't go there.
And
that's what I'm talking about.
You said it exactly right.
That's what I'm talking about.
It's them artists out here who's talking that gang stuff, who's talking the rap stuff, who's talking the killing and all of that. Those guys definitely, when they go into somebody's city, they got it, because that's the culture they bringing with them. They're bringing the violence with them.
That's what I'm talking about. It's
so I need y'all to answer this question.
I just answered it.
Where are the people that's standing up against this?
It is people standing
Where
up against
are they at?
It's the ones who cannot be heard. What needs to be listened, because
No. I'm just asking. I just want to know.
I'm about to explain to you. I just explained to you the voices that need to be doing it are financially connected, and they're scared of losing the finances. That's the issue.
That's crazy.
That's why people like you and me, UNG radio station, people who talk about that stuff, they'll make sure that we're not in the algorithm where people will see that.
That's true to a certain extent, but see, let me just say this as far as the you get this little bit of water. My daughter gave me this little bit. What the hell is this? Thank you, Mama. Here's my thing. Wait, where was I at? What was he talking about? You know, I didn't lose my train of thought that quick. How you gonna lose your train of thought? You wasn't listening.
Like I said.
Oh, so we lost him.
We got another phone call here.
All right, Eddie OJ, don't hang up. And if you do, we're gonna call you. Let's see if we can merge these calls.
Okay,
don't hang up.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
All right, y'all together. Here you go. Caller, you on the line.
Yo, what's good? It's your boy Mikey D and
Mikey D Jackson.
Yo. Hey.
What up, Mikey D?
Ain't nothing, sis. And my bro and big bro was on the line. I heard Eddie OJ.
What's up?
But check it out. This is my take on it. Like, Lady Miz and Ray, and y'all know I've been talking about this for a minute as far as the younger artists. What I think it is the younger artists have lost respect for the elder artists for the simple fact that they think that the elder artists are bitter. They think that we don't care about their music. They think we think their music is trash. And unlike us, some of the elder artists abandoned our children. It's like we don't even reach back to try to holler at them. Like you know me, I try to reach out to all of the younger cats and I try to get them to learn from my mistakes. I don't tell them what to do, but I try to be an OG, and that means offering guidance. You know what I'm saying? And there's not too many like us, and that's where the problem comes in. And a lot of these labels are paying these kids all this money to talk about killing each other, because when they finally kill each other, the label recoups all of that money. They take all the money.
Life insurance.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So this shit is crazy. I just think we need to reach back and we need to embrace the younger generation, but not tell them what to do, because they got it on smash. It's just they need a little guidance from the elders.
That's what Mikey D. That's what I was talking about.
Well, I got to say that.
Go ahead.
But and I don't disagree. But you also got to remember, in our genre of music, the older people are pushed out anyway.
Yeah.
You know, so you can't expect them to have a voice when they're immediately pushed out.
Let me say this.
They're immediately pushed out once they've reached a certain age. Once you reach a certain age, you're immediately pushed out.
I agree with that, but let me just say this. So here's the thing: they're pushed out, right? But like Mikey D said too, it is true. You know, our generation was shitting on that younger generation. Oh, you trash, you mumble rappers, all this stuff. Listen, and we don't understand what they're saying, and whatever the case may be. But they found the lane for themselves that worked, right? And people liked it. You understand? So I don't know what that other color is, but
check this out. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not to cut you off, but check this. I'm at work. I'm sneaking this one.
Oh, go ahead.
Check it out. Like as far as I go, as you all know, we are in the age of technology. Yes. So these, the music industry might have pushed us out, but I checked them real quick. I'd be like, yo, give me your phone. Ask your phone what my name is. When they type that Mikey D in and they see all of the shit and they see I'm official, excuse my language, they see all the stuff and they see I'm official, I got their attention. And then they listen. That's, not everybody could do that. But
that's
these
true.
younger cats, they got the information at the tips of their fingers. You know what I mean? It's just you gotta know how to talk to them. Like OJ, you got that young dude out there where you at, he looks up to you and idolizes you, and he's from this new generation, bro.
Oh yeah, most definitely. That's my man.
It's just the way that we approach them. We have to show them some respect for us to get respect. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
because a lot of their parents listen to our music, and a lot of them parents was from that era, from that epidemic, you know what I'm saying? So these are children of the lost generation. You have to approach them different than we were approached, So that's what that is. And before I leave, I just want to let y'all know I am not guilty. I don't care what OJ says.
They're gonna be our first case on the hood court.
Listen,
we
don't give our show away, bro.
We are not going to discuss the case.
Miz, tell Mike, don't give the show away yet. Hey, Miz, guilty as hell. Guilty as hell.
I don't care what you say. That's my last word. That's my story, and I'm
guilty as hell. Hey, we gotta see when the case is presented, bro. We gotta see what happens.
We will see on the hood court, okay?
Because I don't lose. I don't lose.
Anyway, I'm a
lawyer, baby.
Lady Miz and Ray, y'all have a wonderful show, and keep doing what you're doing. Y'all keep me inspired, and everybody else inspired. And I love y'all. Word up. Let me get back to work before
Thank
they fire me.
Listen, we love you too, and you keep doing what you're doing and inspiring us as well. Like I said, we tap in sometimes on the screen. You might not see us, but we watching and we there and we supported my brother. So we all in the same. I was about to say we all in the same gang, but I better stay away from that word.
No doubt. OJ, I love you. I'll talk to you later.
I love you too, bro.
All right.
You know you already lost, right?
Listen, man, I got Cochran on the case. Be easy. I told
you don't roll with the bomba. I'm coming for your neck.
Oh my God.
And let me be honest. I'm gonna say something to you about the difference too, because we experienced the same stuff with our parents in our generation of music too.
Okay.
The only difference is now these kids are too emotional. They wear their emotions on their sleeve. So as soon as you say something to them, it goes to them. Their skin is not as thick as ours was. We could take the bullshit and we would laugh it off. These kids don't have that thick skin.
That's a big difference. You know what? You know what though? Because the whole world changed.
Yep.
Yes.
And change is not always good. You know what I'm saying? A lot of things change.
When you say the whole world changed, let's start with when it started. When do you think things started to get bad and go downhill?
Listen, I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna explain to you what I'm talking about. When we were little, right? When we were little kids, when I was a little kid, if a neighbor saw me doing something that they thought was wrong outside in the street, they would say, "I'm telling your father when he gets home," and I'd be like, "You had a fear in you back then, like, oh, don't tell my dad. You run in the house and shit." These kids now. You say, I'll tell your mother, they cuss you out, then their mother come and cuss you out.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
When their mother get home, what did you say to my kid? You fucking da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Because, see, the whole world changed. And that's why I say not everything for the good. The parents now, when you go tell them something about their kid, they want to fight you.
Yep.
Right.
Yo, I'm telling you, I had a dude down the block, a little kid, they was in my yard when I wasn't home.
Okay.
So the neighbor told me, yo, these little kids be under your carport when you're not home and they're on the top of your car. I was like, really? She said, yeah, they have their bikes in there. They on the top of your car. They looking in your car. I went down the block. I'm telling the lady, here come her crackhead boyfriend trying to run out the house with a bat and shit. And I'm like, dude, you about to be laying on the floor because I don't have to fight you. You feel me? I didn't come down here not knowing that people are crazy. I came down here to tell you that I don't need your kids in my yard. And she was holding them back. I was like, yeah, hold them because, you know, it's going to be a ride to the funeral home. You feel me? Because I'm not coming down here I'm coming down here to tell you your children shouldn't be in my yard. And the woman tell me they be in your house yard every day when you go to work. They up in there, they in your carport. No, so, you know, the world changed and it became less. We had morals. We were taught morals coming up.
Right.
Yeah. See, there's a difference too. You got to also remember, when we say it takes a village now,
yes,
you got to remember
definitely.
now the village. In order for it to take a village, the village got to be on the same page. And
Most definitely.
now, the village is not on the same page. So that's why situations like that happen.
Well, here's my thing. My thing is this. The fact that because I always speak about when it takes a village, right? But that's where I feel we started going wrong because the leaders in that village became followers instead of being the leaders. First, you got the system who said you can't discipline your kids no more, right? That was the first issue because now the kids they don't even have no fear when it comes to the parents. Okay, no fear at all. You touch me, you're going to jail. So the system figured out a way to say, listen, we're going to stop discipline in the family, and it that was a part of creating the disrespect in kids. And then you have the ones that were supposed to be leaders who gave up. Okay, because Big Mama wasn't having that shit before. Grandmothers before wasn't with it. We knew not to curse in front of them, not to play bad music in front of them, not to call them by their first name. Okay, I never called an adult by their first name. If it wasn't uncle or aunt, it was Mr., Mrs., or Mister. Right?
That's what I told you.
You don't do
the
that.
Whole world changed.
Yeah, everything.
The whole world changed.
The root started with the morals. It started with the morals. Yeah. The morals is where the issues started. And that's why I keep going back to the question, when and how does it change? Because the way I look at it, guys, we are the ones that's supposed to be standing up, making a change, because the ones like that was before us, the generation before us is older and they're tired, right? We the ones that have the strength to really make a difference. So what are we doing?
Well, with these youngsters now, they on wow, it's so hard to me to even figure out what to do with that, man. You know, I thank God that I have a respectful son. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He was never, you know, I thank God because he's like 32 and he's like such a good person. I feel blessed. He wasn't out there doing this and doing that and doing this. You know, he's just he goes to work to get what he wants, you know, because it's and the thing.
We got another caller.
Okay, take your call.
Yeah, we're gonna bring him in.
Wait, we don't. Well, first we got to see. We don't know if who is that on the line. Before you gotta check and see who it is before you bring him on.
We bringing him on. You call you on the line. Look at you get mad.
This is Seville. Will Seville in the building.
What's up, Will Seville? How you doing, my brother?
I'm well, and I'm feeling this topic, and I just wanted to add my 2 cents.
All right,
basically.
Most definitely. Go ahead.
What up, OJ?
What up, bro?
Yeah. Now, the problem is, and it's incumbent on us, the elders, to teach these youngsters who they are, to instill a sense of pride in them. And what I mean by that is, and a lot of the elders don't even know, we are God's chosen people, and we need to act and behave as such, and we are not. And so I don't condone it, but I understand why the youngsters in hip hop, where they went astray. And we have to also understand that the controllers of media and music and all of that aren't us. But like it was stated earlier, Black Death, for some reason, generates money. and it's generating money for others who aren't us. And like I said, what we have to do, we have to instill a sense of pride in ourselves. So we have to show them. We can't just tell them. We have to behave in a certain manner the way God wants us to behave. And only until then will we straighten this all out. It's not going to happen by just talking about it and not living it. Now, with regard to this gang culture and music, I don't condone. I don't even listen to it. And OJ, all of them can tell you, I don't listen to the music because to me, it's not hip hop. Now, I hate to be that way and to say it that way, because to those youngsters who made it, they feel that it's hip hop, but it's not hip hop how I remember it. Hip hop is not a violent music, and we got to understand this is music we're talking about.
Right.
Why are these kids killing each other over statements or dissing each other through music? Because that's not what music was developed for. And our people, as God's people, we are the creators of all music. And it's been taken from us. It's been taken from us and marketed it all over the world as being created by others. And they're still just making money off of us. And the few who follow along with it, they give them a few crumbs. And that's because we've also not had this much. So therefore, you're going to find people that just going to go along with it to get what they can get out of it. Monetarily.
Yep. You got to think also, a lot of these guys also, when they go to these record labels, a lot of them are walking away broke. You got to understand, these same kids, you'd be like, how these kids getting killed? Because they can't even afford to get out the same hood where they putting their music out.
Right.
They
100%.
They're giving them jewelry here. You can have this jewelry, you can have this car, you can have all of that, but they cannot afford to leave.
100%.
But and also the money that they do get. Okay, and this is why we got to change the mindset. Exactly. The money that they get, the money that they get, okay, is sad because the mindset of being hood rich is exactly why they stay there too, because they can take the funds that they have and maybe, let me just finish, and invest it into maybe property or somewhere else, right? But they choose to buy stuff to impress other people in the hood and stay right where they are. So we're talking about, and this is why it has to go back to educating kids. We should be teaching our kids about financial stuff and credit and things like that, investments and knowing how to build. We're not doing that, but a lot of adults are just following these damn kids. Instead of leading.
I'm not gonna put it on.
But check it out.
All right,
check it out. A lot of young dudes do have enough money to lead, but we have a mentality as a black person, black people. I'm a real nigga. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not leaving because I don't have to. I'm not leaving. This is my hood. I'm not leaving. That's the problem that Master P had with his brother. He had plenty of money, but he was like, I'm a real G. Nobody run me out. What's my man that got killed up in Cali? He had plenty of money. Was going with Lauren London, Nipsey Hussle. He had mad loot.
Right,
I'm
but
stay in my hood.
Nah, it wasn't. He didn't live in the hood.
You got some brothers that want to stay, and then you got the real dudes telling them, man, you should leave. Because there's so much hate. Like the Bible says, you're hated in your own land. God was hated in his own land. Because when and especially as black people who've been oppressed and held down, we got so many haters. People hate you just because you're making it. And because we're the oppressed people.
Yeah, that's right.
We're the oppressed people.
Eddie, I had a rhyme where I'm gonna go to this. Yeah, I'm gonna go to this real quick, right? Because we speaking on Nipsey. Nipsey did what you expect somebody who leaves the hood to do. He came back to the hood, building jobs and trying to build up the community.
Most definitely.
So he did what he was doing was right. It wasn't like he was like,
he was doing it. I'm saying he was doing a good thing, but people hated on him for that. They was like, he should have just got out of there and didn't do that. But he felt like, I'm a real dude, and this man never expected nobody to hurt him doing good things in the hood.
let's I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Let's talk about why, because he's not the only one that went back to the hood and got killed in his own hood, right?
Many of them.
But what I'm saying is this: why the hell is it that we fight for the very people and say we got to go back for these people, and these people be the same people to kill you? So
because
really, is it really a sellout, or are they doing the right thing when they get the hell out of there and don't come back? Like, personally, me, I'm gonna keep it real. I don't care if people can be mad all they want. I say go, and if it's bad, don't go to hell back, because they're gonna kill you for making it out.
Let me tell you something, Miz. I'm gonna tell you something right now, young lady. You got women right now that don't like you for no reason. They say, she thinks she. I'm telling you, that is the mentality of our people through a long process.
That's not our people, though. That is the.
Well,
listen, I
gotta speak for our people. I'm not white. I'm not Chinese.
Right, but we can't make
Mexican.
We can't make
I'm talking about what. I'm talking about what the. I don't see a lot of white guys killing their young singers. I don't see this other singer go. I'm gonna go put a cap in his ass. You know. I don't see other musicians killing other musicians, but I see it in my race because of what we were oppressed people, and our people are crabs in a barrel. They hate to see. You got people get mad because another black person get a new car, man.
Yes,
I'm telling you.
You got to also remember. Look, you got to.
Ray.
I'm not.
Listen,
I'm playing devil's advocate here.
You are making excuses.
No, I'm not. I'm being honest with you.
Miz,
what's up,
Miz? Is there any way that we could get Ray fired off of your show?
Nah, go ahead, girl. I want to hear you, Ray.
I can't. The paperwork, we already signed the paperwork, and he read the contract, unlike these rappers do.
I want to hear Ray's point of view because you know, everybody has a point of view as to
Ray is my guy. I just be messing with him.
I'm not saying that it does not happen, right? But you got to also remember, this is the history of our people. You know, this is not something that we could just say, hey, this happened overnight. This has been groomed in our people since, and like I always say this, right? When we had the real leaders, what happened to our community once they killed off the real leaders? Martin Luther King, Marcus Garvey, or Malcolm X. When they killed off of those, the parents, our parents, stopped leading. And now when you look at it, because you got to remember, I was one of them kids. I was running buck wild too. And then you think the difference with me now is I'm teaching my son not to do what I did. But you gotta remember also at the same time when they killed the leaders, they also started jailing our men. So who was out here watching these kids?
Oh yeah, you know they destroyed our families, most definitely.
So we can't look at it and go, oh, hip hop is effed up. When it was this has been done to us for generations. This is not something. This is the mentality of our people, because
like
this is what gets fed to us.
It's been done systematically.
Yes.
So most definitely.
Absolutely.
Most definitely.
And
it's systematically done.
The only way to fix that is to get away from the system. And that's the issue.
How hard is that?
That's exactly, because you know what? Here's what I'll say about our people. We're not utilizing our resources. And I'll explain to you. We always say that the black community don't have any money, but we do. You got to also remember, these same white people who control all the businesses market it to us because they know our culture will sell it and will buy it.
Just like the video said.
Most definitely.
So it's the demand for it. So who is ultimately responsible?
And especially when you got your own people that do it to your own people.
Yes.
You know, I was watching the thing today and they was talking about all the, and I hate to get specific, but they was talking about how all the people from the what was it, what was that show Puffy had, the Day 26s and the Vanity Canes, and how all of these people end up where they generated $70 million and they all got paid like $50,000. You know what I'm saying? We got our own people that do it to our own people.
Absolutely.
Because you know what I'm saying? So as long as I'm a fat man, I don't care how skinny you are, nigga. Just make me some money. Yeah, you take the same slave mentality and do it to your own people, long as you get it, you know. And shout
out to Tanya on the check-in. She always comes in with some great content and some great points too. She's saying that competition is the biggest factor in the black community, and I just want to
speak on that really quickly because, and you also said it, it's people that hate you just because you're thriving to be better. The minute that you try to evolve, people, because of their own insecurities, they start to look at you like you think you're better. No, you think that I'm better. And that's why you addressing it like that. So I think that again, we got to get back to the mindset of that. Stop being so in control over certain situations.
Look what you just said, the competition, right? You said the girl just said that?
Yes.
Isn't that the major reason why every single woman that you see in R&B and rap right now has their bodies are all augmented? That's competition. They got to look themselves. So everybody got implants. Everybody got implants.
I got something to say to that.
What's
you got to remember that was marketed to them. That was told to them.
Yeah,
this is
marketing.
How you sell. This is how you're going to sell.
What I'm saying.
But you got to also remember.
Because like she said, that's competition.
Right, but you got to remember who makes the money off of these girls doing that to their body.
We know what it is.
These girls are not making the money. They might make a little bit, but the billions aren't made in our community. So you got to remember, these are the same people that's saying, "Hey, this is how you make money." And then another record label goes, "Oh wow, she did that. I need to do it too." Let's push that on you.
That's right. And Calcutta said everybody wants to be first. Okay, I think that's one of the biggest issues too. Wanting to be. Calcutta said that. And he's so right. It's not, and that's a big problem because if you're first, right? And I come after you, if I'm still getting mines, what the hell difference does it make? If I'm still getting mines, why do it have to be, I have to be above you or better than you? That's the only time, like my values is going to be there regardless where you at. That
is the slave mentality. We always got to go back to, this is our community still suffers from the slave mentality. You got to remember, like I said, and since we're talking about the music, like I said, the hip hop industry had billions of dollars. Unfortunately, they're throwing scraps at everybody who's making the music, keeping the billions. So you got all of these people fighting and trying to be first to be the top of that 1% of this being handed up to them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tanya, she's dropping some knowledge over there in these comments. Great points that she's making. One of the points she said is, and I mean, some people ain't gonna like it if they hear it, but it is true. Black people would rather you fail just so they can have something to keep talking about. You understand what I'm saying? And it's so freaking true. It's like, and it's a damn shame, man. It's a shame. Like we really got to do better. We have to do better.
Right, but you know how we do better? It takes us teaching our kids. We got to start with our kids now.
I think we got to start with us so we can lead by example.
Right. But you know what? The problem with our community is we always looking out for help instead of looking in.
Right. Looking in and starting within.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Right now, we're looking at these stars and we're going, why aren't you saying something?
Right.
That's the problem. We're expecting people who are financially connected to risk their finances for the community. It's not going to happen.
And you know what else happens too? What else happens too with our youth when they see these videos, and just because the dude is on videos and they're getting paid a lot of money and these dudes flashing money, the young kids, like you say, teaching our youth, the young kids look up to that. It's like, he's great. I want to be like that. You know?
Yeah.
I was talking to a young dude on my job. He's like 22. And I was talking to him about my man who got killed, Dolph, young Dolph, young Dolph, and he was like, "Yeah, man, they worship. I call it worship, not even idolize. They worship these guys." He said, "Yeah, man." He said, "Cause he getting money, man. He getting money. You know what I'm saying?" And that's all they look up to. And it becomes like we talk about. We gotta reach our kids. When these young men, man. They are so into worship of money and what they see, and it looks so good with these girls shaking their butts and this. I could have her if I had that money, and it becomes it's deep, man. It's deep entrenched in our culture, man.
I mean, at the end of the day, we all want money, right? We shouldn't be worshiping it, but we do need it to survive.
They worship those guys,
right? But you got to remember,
they worship those guys. They worship those, like your husband was talking about, Super Gremlin. This dude can't, well, I ain't gonna talk about the dude, but to me, they're not even really their vocabulary is not even good. The way they sound like, you know, you never went to school a day in their life, but they can make a hit record and these young kids start looking at, oh, he's so good. And like, you know, I know it's a different era, so I don't focus on that because I do listen just to see what they talking about or what they saying. And I listen for a talent, a skill set. Like no matter what you say, you can say, oh, this is their music. This is their thing. All music has a skill set. All music has a skill set. So you can say, I can't say nothing because they're young and people didn't like us. People didn't like us when we was young. Our parents didn't like us because hip hop was a fairly new thing. And they was like, that ain't singing.
Right.
I could talk and be a talent. You just talking. That ain't no talent. You know, that's why they didn't like us. It was brand new. But okay, as it changed, I do have some young artists that I listen to that I say, oh, that's a hot song. But then I have some young artists that I don't even understand but I know people are in the hood and they look up to dude can't even talk. You can tell he's uneducated, just saying a bunch of stuff, looking crazy, acting crazy. But
the crazy thing is, the crazy thing is, it's working for them.
Yeah, well, it's
working for them.
You gotta remember the
entertainment. But listen, Miz, hold up, Seville. What is working when working for them when they all out there shooting each other and
what? No. Yes.
Yeah,
and that's why they're going to keep doing it. And that's exactly why they're going to keep doing it. Yes, I'm talking about money. Seville, you was going to say something?
Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong, but like y'all listen to the music more than I do. I find it hard for me to listen to the newer artists. There's a few that I can listen to, but like I always, me and OJ talk. Like if you put a gun to my head and tell me to say a little so and so song, I would be dead. I don't know these guys. I don't know
them either
because I see it.
I can't say they songs though.
Yeah, I listen to it because I have a son.
I see it differently. I see it as quick money now. Do you see? Yep. Do you guys see? Y'all would know better than me. Is there longevity in the careers of these new artists?
No,
not at all.
You know where their longevity goes to? A casket. I hate to say it, and it's sad for me to say it, but that's where it seems like they always end up. And I don't know, you know, it's just messed up. I'm gonna tell you, I don't know the songs like that either. I try to still stay up on it a little bit because I got kids. We got to pay attention to what our kids is listening to and what's popular. Okay, because who was we interviewing? I forgot who the hell it was. It might have been Daddy-O maybe when I was on Seven's show, and he said, you know, we had before I said, what do you think the problem is with hip hop? Right. He said headphones or something. And I was like, what the hell is he talking about? And he said, because back then, before we had that, we had to play the stuff out loud and the adults could hear the music. They could monitor it and they would say, well, who is that? Even the adults knew what the kids were listening to. They knew everybody. Once we got this and we could block out, you can hide things now. And the parents wasn't involved and they didn't know. And that created a disconnect between, I guess, the parent and the child that was listening. Right. So for me, you know, when I look at all of that, I'm looking at the whole picture as to what I guess the root of the issue is when it comes to the music and how do we get back to fixing it?
It's already fixed.
How? Well, how could you say that?
Because music is based on money and the powers that be, long as they making money, and you have to take over the companies. Yep. See, you know what I'm telling you? When
I don't think it's fixed.
Listen, baby, check it out. I took a Clientele Brother tape. I went to Tommy Boy. I went to some label back in the day. Mm-hmm. And when I took the tape and he played it, he said, y'all are good. He said, you don't have a Roxanne for me? I said, I just played this dude the whole tape of hot stuff. He said, you don't have a Roxanne. He said, y'all are good though. You don't have a Roxanne song? And that's what the labels do. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So they market it that way. You don't have a song that like NBA Youngboy. That's what's hot right now. You know you ain't got nothing to sound like that. Roddy Ricch. You don't have.
Let me say this. Real quick. Okay. Here is where I believe one of the issues is technology in the older generation that refused to learn the new technology. And this is exactly why the younger generation, and not to separate us from them, is winning in the sense of what they're putting out, because these bigger companies are looking at the numbers and who is on social media all day. The people who are not working or whatever. Right. These kids are on there all day. Just let me finish. These kids are on there. These kids are on social media all day long. And the older generation is saying, I'm not going to do that. Now I'm okay with pop the trunk and sell the CDs, however you got to do it. But our people, our generation and the older generation has to learn the new technology to be able to reach people all over the world like they do. Okay. So that part right there is also another issue, because not an issue, but a part of as far as solving the problem. Let me just finish. Hold up. Let me finish my other statement. One, that part right there. And the other issue is controlling creating our own. The problem is never going to get fixed when we keep expecting somebody else who controls their platform, what they created, to do it our way. It ain't never going to freaking happen. Like, oh, I'm loud.
Yeah,
y'all know I be talking about. He said, turn the volume down on her shit. Wait, listen, guys. Okay, let me calm down. Hold on. It's never. Let me just make this last point.
Okay.
I'll stop because y'all know I be yelling.
Okay.
It's never. It's never. Okay. We can't ever expect for somebody else's platform, what they created, to do it our way. We first have to create our own and respect and see value in what we have, and stop searching for everybody else, like Ray said, to fix our issue. We don't even be respecting other people's platforms that we got going on right now, because we too busy trying to tap in somewhere else, expecting them to fix us and see us. What the hell? How do you think that that's ever going to happen? It's not. I'm sorry, it ain't happening.
Miz,
what's up?
I hear this is my take on it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because Sedan asked me the same thing. You know, he said these young guys are selling all of this stuff. How do we fix it, OJ? Because our music is just as good. It's already fixed, because we had our day when we was that. You had your day when
you didn't.
No,
have
listen,
your day,
listen. No, I'm not saying you won't sell. Mm-hmm. But you're not going to sell what they sell. Listen, you're not going to sell what they sell, because as an older art, and I'm not saying I never give up on music, bro. Trust and believe that. You know what I'm saying? And I get everything that she's saying about learning marketing and doing and promoting it the right way, because I have 2 CDs and neither one of them are on any social media. But listen, she got a point with that. But basically, hip hop is a young music that young people like. Are the main supporters when it comes to the dollars. You could ask older people all day to buy your stuff. Man, it's like pulling teeth out of somebody's head. You know what I'm saying? And they'll like it. They'll love it. They'll dance to it. When it comes to buy it, they won't buy it. Older people, you know why? Because most older people listen to hip hop once in a while. They've moved on to jazz and just R&B and stuff like that, you know. So you can make,
well, some people still listen to hip hop, but the boom bap, old school hip hop, as they would call it. So I don't think that we totally moved on. Like, I listen to all of that too, but when I want, like, I'm going to call it real hip hop, I'm going back to the root of
you're
it.
going back to what you know. But a 20-year-old person is 25 is not going to buy a 50-year-old man's album, no matter how good it is.
But you know what the problem is?
I
a 50-year-old has to stop marketing to 25-year-olds also.
Bingo.
Maybe.
Listen, let me tell you something.
I'm not saying
that's a good point.
I'm not saying is what could never happen. But when I was young, I wasn't worried about certain people that was much older than me buying their music. I heard it because my mom and them had it, and I listened to it. But you know, we was out there buying the LLs and the Rakims and the people who was more in your age. I wasn't buying Marvin Gaye and stuff, and because hip hop was new then. But I'm just saying, I heard that. Right. You know, hopefully, I mean, and I'm not saying because I had Rakim's last album, you know, Holy Are Thee, and it's dope. You know, none of the young people, they never played nowhere. This shit was fire.
Right,
fire.
But you don't have to. The thing is, you know what the older artists stopped doing? They stopped selling music because they're not marketing to the fans that was listening to them to the day. in their day. They still thinking, you know what?
Rakim's fans are Rakim's age,
Listen,
bro.
Right, but there's still
listen.
he's still, but that's the point. He could still make music for his fans. His fans never went anywhere. A lot of the oldest rappers act like their fans left.
For his fans,
That's
young
true.
people not gonna buy him.
It's okay.
Yeah, and
No,
listen,
that's
hold
all
on.
I'm saying.
Listen,
Huh?
right? No, I agree with you because the age difference, but some younger kids do like older music, especially the ones that like the sample. But let me just finish this real quick, okay? Here's the deal. Tanya. She made a statement, and Ray he made a statement, and it went hand in hand. He said, you made a statement on marketing to the younger kids, right? Mm-hmm. And Tanya said, when you have parents today listening to the very things they don't want their kids listening to, how could you expect to check your child on it and expect them to respect and listen? So my thing is this, and it brings it back to one, marketing, right? Who are you marketing to? Because I believe that the older generation is forgetting about the ones that's their age that want to hear the music, and they start targeting the wrong people. That's another issue. And two, if you have parents that is sitting there talking about, baby, I don't want you to be this, that, and the third, but you're listening to Cardi B with your kid in a sense. And I'm just going to use her. I listen to Cardi B. I am not going to sit here and lie. Sometimes I do. Okay. So let me put that out there. But I'm just saying, right? But at the same time, right, is it right if you are doing that with your kids and glorifying it, and then on the other hand, preaching to them about what they shouldn't be doing?
I'm going to tell you something like this. We grew up in the age of do as I say, not as I do. You get your ass whooped for doing what you say. You know, what happened to that? What happened to holding your kids like, you can't do what I do?
I understand that, but
and that's the issue that we start telling our kids. We start letting our kids say, well, I can do it, so I'm gonna stop doing it. So so that you stop doing it. Nah, you educate your kids. I'm listening to this. This is not good, but you shouldn't be doing it. You shouldn't follow this.
That's true, but we separated. Let me give you an example. I don't know about y'all, but I know when I was growing up, it could be in a small ass apartment, right, with mad people in there. When I was a kid, they sent us kids to the back room. Okay, we were not sitting in an adult's face while if they were playing cards, drinking, and smoking. Let me tell you something. We was not able to be sitting in their freaking face around them in grown folks' business. We separated. We separated ourselves. I'm yelling again. I can't help it.
They don't do it like that. They don't do it like that now, though.
The kids, they sitting there doing the same shit with their kids.
We can't blame it because we used to say it was kids raising kids, right? Mm-hmm. But it ain't that way because right now my mom's was a kid when I was born. Mm-hmm. You know, so it's adults doing it now. It's 30, 40 years old, and if somebody already said, well, I think Tanya said it. When you have parents out here who are trying to, India, when you got parents out here who are trying to be their kid's friend and not their parent, that's the issue.
Right.
Exactly.
Hey, they're homies. They smoke blunts with them.
Like me and my son, I'm mad cool with my son. Me and my son,
you and your son smoke blunts together?
Nah, I don't smoke at all, and it's not allowed in my house.
I was just kidding with you, bro.
I don't allow the shit. I don't like cigarettes in my house.
Ray say he don't smoke no blunts with his son.
Nah.
We are a drug-free home, unless they edibles. Let me stop. Unless they edibles, then I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
I don't even fuck with the edibles now. I had it one time. I ain't fucking with that no more.
Oh shit!
Crazy.
Oh my God!
Let's stay edible. That is crazy. Miz, you wrong for that.
Listen. But listen, guys. I mean, it is. It is true though. Shit, I'm keeping it real with y'all. I don't know. You know what I mean?
Like now, let me get back to it because I was saying, me and when we talk about kids being parents with their kids, right? You still got to be cool with your kids, but you also got to set boundaries.
Yes. Absolutely.
And that's the issue where a lot of the parents are not setting a boundary. Like me and my son, we cool with all that. You know that. Me and him hang out. We play ball. I hang out with his friends. I take him to play basketball. But they also know I'm gonna check them when they're doing something wrong.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
And that's what's missing in our community now. There's nobody checking anybody. I mean, honestly, it should be adults now pulling the other adults aside. It's like, yo, come on, man. You know, but it's like I said, nobody's doing it anymore.
Hey, you know what was crazy that I seen when they did it was a Rakim interview, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they was talking about, yo, how many times you ever cursed on the record? He said, maybe once or twice at the most. And they was asking him why he never cursed on the record. He said, you know, when I got my deal, you know, I was happy. My parents were so happy for me because I had a scholarship to play sports. And I told them, I brought the contract home and told them, you know, people wanted me to go on tour because they loved my music. He said, but the main thing was when I started making music, I always took it home to my parents because my main people to impress and make happy was my mother and my father.
And his parents were musicians as well.
Yeah, he said, and I couldn't do the cussing thing because they always heard everything that I did because they were the first people that I played my music for. He said, so that's why I never got into the cussing on my music. And I was like, that's deep. That's a good thing. Now, he's one of the greatest guys to ever pick up a microphone, arguably, you know, top one, top two. Rakim is the guy. That's the guy, you know, so.
Right.
Yeah, you know, I mean, you know, deep, and I thought that was pretty cool, you know.
Definitely. I guess you can say that is the difference from our generation to the kids' generation now.
And you know, and speaking on something that Tanya said, where she was talking about hip hop, and she was saying, like, you know, her love for it, like when she hears, you know, old school songs, what it does for her, how it makes her feel, and she could go back and remember what she was doing, what she was wearing, and that's the same thing, like the effect that hip hop, like she said, that had on the people back then. Like I felt that, like I used to run home, I would never miss Yo MTV Raps, I would never miss Video Music Box. I knew every artist. I loved every artist. I knew the difference of every artist when they came on because nobody sounded the same. They had their own style, their own flavor because you couldn't bite back in the days, right? Because that was considered bad. You know what I mean? So back then it was like you had this feeling, and you, even if we wasn't totally connected with the artists, we still felt the connection to them because they were giving us greatness, right? But now today, I hate to say it, and I'm not trying to put the new artists down, but today, if I put on the radio, I don't know who's on. Every song sounds the same. Everybody sounds the same. They're all talking about the same. The females are talking about how good they could give a BJ and how their asses. Now, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. It ain't like we ain't had that with Little Kim, right? But it was just maybe Little Kim. Like there was a balance. We still had Little Kim, and we had Queen Latifah. We had MC Light.
It wasn't every record that Little Kim made either.
Yes,
you know,
exactly.
Like don't get me wrong. When I see Meg, when Meg came out, I thought Meg would, because I liked her at first. But then after I seen that every song that she does is exactly the same thing, like I lost. Like I said,
well, maybe because the labels won't accept anything else because they're saying, "Hey, this is what sells. This is what you got to do." I'm not trying to make an excuse for her. I'm just saying, who knows?
That's the issue. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, right? A lot of these artists could literally walk away from a label and go on and sell their music without a label, but they stay stuck. For what reason?
Contract.
Because they somebody threw a little bit of money at them and they signed a long,
for 5 years.
a 100-year contract off a few $1 million, and now they're stuck.
5 years of that shit music.
Right.
And the crazy part, Eddie,
and I'm gonna use my ass with the shit.
The crazy part about that, I pointed it out to Miz. I'm like, yo, that's the same. That same song is being marketed on a Popeye's chicken commercial.
Right, they're using it.
That's how they're marketing that to our kids.
Ain't that crazy?
It is.
That's how it shows just how money based it is.
And the skill is lost. In all of this, there's no skill. Like you were talking about, Meg and Cardi and those they're successful young ladies. But they don't rap better than Foxy Brown or Queen Latifah.
Well, listen, Seville.
You
can't say they don't. It's not. They don't have to rap better than it. So you naming some of the best people to ever do it. So I won't put that on them that they have to rap better than Foxy and
I'm not saying that
they don't have to do that. And listen, to me,
wait, one person at a time. Let's hold on. Seville wasn't talking that much, so let him get his.
Go ahead, get it.
What I'm saying that a lot of this, I gotta call this like, I guess the new hip hop. There's a lot of skill. There's no, I don't see any skill in it. The last rapper that where you can say, oh well, you know, this person has skill. I think Drake is still more skillful than these dudes coming up now.
No,
I don't hear any skill. All I hear is chanting something negative, and you know, a lot of profanity and killing. And I don't want to be killed while I'm listening to music.
Seville, you know,
I want to listen to music. I want to be able to groove dance. If somebody's rapping to it, I want to hear that they put in some work into it. I don't want to hear, you know, to chant the same thing over, me and my bitches or me and my niggas gonna kill you. And I don't know. I'm the old man, get off my lawn. I'm not feeling that.
You said it though, because you got to listen now. Drake is not even played that much on the radio anymore because he's not out there talking about killing everybody every day either. So you got to remember who's in charge of putting out the music.
Right, absolutely.
We get mad at our kids and we get mad at these artists for putting up the music they put out, right? But some of these kids want to eat, and they're being told this is the only way you eat. When you got a kid, when you got some of these people who come from nothing, and you give them, like to me, a few $100,000 wouldn't have me sell my soul, but somebody else would. You got a kid who got nothing. Like, oh man, I got nothing. I'm out here in the streets every day hustling, and you throw $100,000 at them, they're gonna take it and sell their soul for it.
Well, guess what? Let me go to Town Mama's comment. Since you're talking about money, that money that they getting ain't nothing but an advance, right? It ain't nothing but a loan that they gotta pay back. So they using them. Hey, I'm gonna give you this money. You gotta pay me back. Plus, I own your masters and your publishing, and I'm gonna still make money off of you. So I'm gonna be eating while you got that little bit of money, and you gonna take it and spend it on hood shit and Gucci.
And that's exactly why they can't leave the hood. It's exactly because you got to think about it, right? You say these kids, a lot of times when they get these chains they're given to them. You know, we thinking, hey, they went out and spent $300,000 on chain. Nah, they really didn't. Some record industry say, here, this is what you need to sell records. They give them that. And then these kids know they get a little bit of money here and there, but it ain't enough to establish a home.
But
because they're not making that money.
Let me tell you something. I have to somewhat disagree with that statement. And let me tell you, not the whole thing, but see, you can take some of that money and invest that shit in some land or invest it into something or find other people.
How do you pay the taxes on it if you're not getting that regular income?
Well, if you're doing shows, see, it goes back to who, it might have been Town Mama. I'm not sure who said they not reading the contracts, right? So first of all, let's start with the fact that instead of being so thirsty, listening to people sell you a damn dream, you need to understand that paperwork when they give it to you, because this is how a lot of people get caught up. They get caught up in, somebody see me, they recognize me, I'm dope, and they get all excited over that alone, right? And they don't even understand what's being given to them. They're about to sign their damn life away.
Unfortunately, when you and I've heard these stories where record labels drop, they got a whole lot of cash sitting on the table, and you walk into somebody who has nothing, and they walk into a room with a whole bunch of people standing around, a piece of paper on it, and they go, hey, look, this is yours. You know, what are you going to say to somebody who has nothing? And then they look at this and they can walk out with that right now. They're going to take it. And then that's why this industry has always been marketed to kids. That's why you think they try to push the older adults out, because the older ones understood, hey, this is what I messed up on. You're not going to do it to me again. So let's push out the older ones and keep marketing to the kids. And if you ever look at it, once people realize how their contract is and they realize, hey, you're not going to do this to me again, what happens to that artist? You don't hear that artist no more. They go on to the next new dumb kid.
I hate to say it like that. Well, you said it. I guess
I'm gonna call it what it is.
Listen, UNG Radio, big shout out to big homie Madman over there on the West Side. So he said the music industry has eliminated real MCs and R&B singers. It's a part
it's part of the plan that they're setting up for the future. And I believe that. Let me tell you something. I don't believe that none of this is by accident. None of it. None of this is by accident.
I agree.
Yep.
Okay?
I agree.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I mean, I can say it like this. Look at our community, right?
Mm-hmm.
And me and you were just talking about this. I know we're going to talk about it later on in another episode. But
Mhm.
and you know, nothing against Ukraine getting bombed up, right? But America found $10 billion of American tax money to say here.
That's tomorrow's episode.
Here. And right now, you could, with $10 billion in America, you could literally change the poor community's whole lifestyle by educating. You could literally eliminate crime. You could, with proper education and real work. But they would rather invest into somebody else than instead of our own kids.
And then on top of that, and I hate to say this, and I'm not trying to sound messed up or anything for what's going on, because there are kids that are dying in that country and stuff. But I'm looking, you know, and I feel bad. I do. But I also feel bad for them Black people over there that's being treated a certain type of way. And it's like, our people, we know how to stand up and fight for everything else but our own. We know how to stand up and feel sorry for everybody else, but we don't feel sorry for our damn self and what's happening here. You know what I mean? We always want to be so tough.
That's like, Black America. I'm sorry.
Like, I don't know if it was Eddie OJ. I think it was in the beginning. He said that our culture come from, like, you got to show that you're so tough. Even like, I'm gonna speak as a Black woman. I had to get out of that mentality, because it was like, people, you think that your strength is showing that you could be so aggressive and so this, but really that's weakness to me, because the strong person knows how to conduct themselves and control themselves. It takes a lot to bite your tongue and control yourself without reacting. That's where the strength comes from. It's easy to pop off. You understand what I'm saying? Come on. What did India say? Oh, she said, right, cousin. That's right, out damn it. Okay, I'm dropping the bomb on my own shit. What y'all talking about? But I'm lightening up the mood a little bit. Yeah, like we about to we cut it short.
We gotta fix. We could fix this, but we got to. It takes everybody, you know, and unfortunately, like I said, we got to start with our kids. We no longer, we keep putting it on the music industry, we keep putting it on the rappers, and we putting it on the gangsters and all of that. Now, honestly, it change starts at home. Okay, so I want to know from everybody, if y'all are still on the line, Seville, Eddie OJ, Ray, everybody, hey, Ray, whoever's tuning in, please tell me, what would you say the first step of the solution is to this problem when it comes to the culture, when it comes to gang culture, hip hop music, and us as a community?
You know what? One thing you got, I understand what Ray is talking about too, you know, about parents. You know, we all wish we had good parents. Unfortunately, we don't. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know, it's true. You know, unfortunately, we don't. A lot of people grow up. A lot of our young folks are raised by celebrities, and that's unfortunate too. You know, a lot of our young folks are raised by celebrities. A lot of our young folks don't have good parents. We were fortunate, you know. I mean, you know, so it is. You know, we got.
So like what's your solution, Eddie OJ? What would you say? What would be the thing that you say, we got to start here? Let's do this. Let's start here. Because I'm going to start
with taking Mikey D's ass to hood court, and I'm going to prove my points.
That's a solution for something else. Okay, stop playing. You ain't even supposed to be discussing your case on the air right now.
on this problem with the gangsters and the young gangsters, I'm letting y'all solve that. I can't. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
Seville.
Okay, yeah, go ahead, Seville.
Well, my what I know factually is the solution would be a whole nother show. And what that is our people, we have to come back to Yah, to God. We are God's people, and we are not behaving as such. Mm-hmm. And therefore, we are never going to get it together until we come back to God first, learn how to deal and treat each other, and then we can grow from there. So
but you're not going to make everybody believe in God, Bill.
Wait, hold on, please, guys. Let everybody just finish.
Had this conversation before. It doesn't matter what. It doesn't matter if you have people who don't believe. I know factually that there is a higher being.
Because you're a believer.
The Most High. I know factually.
You're a believer.
And
you're a believer. It's hard to make the whole. It's hard to make the whole world.
Our teaching situation is not going to. It's not going to get any better.
I know what you're saying. I get it. I get it.
So, and that's just it. So
those people that you see, it's hard to make a man believe in God that says he is God.
That's not true.
All right. Wait, guys.
That's a whole different episode.
That is a whole nother episode. But if y'all want to bring, we could definitely have that as one of the topics.
I will piggyback off of Seville, but this because he took the words out of my mouth. Now, I'm not the most religious person, and I'm gonna be honest. But it was the church who made me not a religious person. And I will say this, in order to fix we need to go back to that, but we need to
back to what?
To the church in our communities, but we have to remove the bad ones from our communities because a lot of these churches are they're just as big as a problem in our community as the gangsters.
Absolutely.
Most definitely.
Absolutely.
Most definitely.
Let me just say, guys, big shout out to UNG Radio. He said, everybody share this live right now on your Facebook or wherever your social medias. If you haven't already, make sure you hit the subscribe button to our YouTube channel and add us to your, if you have Roku, add us to your TV list. We have our own network on Roku. Okay. Now, Tell Mama said, wait, because I want to go. She said, our parents didn't use TVs as the babysitter, right? And then Tanya said, because I want to kind of go through these real quickly. She said, staying true to your morals and values you grow up on and instill them in your kids, expose your kids to different things and put them in uncomfortable situations. I like that. She said, teach them that being uncomfortable and different is okay. I love that. And India said, simply put, the Black culture needs to come together. Big shout out to Chucky Chuck on the check-in. I see you. And Calvin said, the right church will give you proper instructions. I absolutely love this. These comments. Thank you, Karen. She's talking about my Boss Move chips. I appreciate it. So listen, guys, at the end of the day, I'm going to give my take. I always go to this and I'm going to keep saying this. And I really think that I want to do a show on actually starting it. People that pull up, they got to be a part of it. But what are you going to do to make a difference? We starting this right now, right? What is my take on it to fix it? The first action is one, understanding that it still takes a village. This is us. If you try to do everything with your one finger, it might get some stuff done, but it's more powerful when it's us like this, when it's us together. You have a more powerful impact rather than like this. So I think that we got to get back to that. And we have to say, okay, we're talking about it now. When we going to do it and how we going to do it. Coming up with a plan to actually do something. And stop. I'm going to tell y'all, everybody got to stop. Oh, I'm sorry. Damn, I be yelling like that. Everybody, all of us, it's okay. We could debate, because debate is okay. It's okay if we don't disagree, if none of us disagree, but we don't have to be enemies. And it's not about being the smartest Negro or white person in the room, right? It's about us sharing knowledge with each other so that we can grow and evolve, right? And maybe you might say something that I was wrong on, and it's okay. You don't have to criticize me and beat me down for being wrong, right? Educate me without trying to destroy me. You know what I mean? You can do that without trying to put me down, because now I could receive your message without feeling like I got to put up a block and protect myself against somebody who's just trying to beat me up because I said something that maybe wasn't right. Because I could come back and say, you know what? You're right. I thought about that. And I think I'm going to go with what you're saying because it makes more sense, right? We all of us can do that. All right. Put our pride aside. Listen to what other people got to say. Let's debate and let's come to a common ground. That's my take on it.
Okay. But
listen, I ain't gonna clap for me. I'm gonna clap for my goddamn self.
I agree. That's why I said to you now, in our community, the biggest influencer on the Black community is the church. And unfortunately, the churches are run they're no different, like I said, than the gangsters, because they come into the community, they rape the community, and then they take all of the money that they get from the community and invest it somewhere else.
Absolutely. I agree. And let me just go back to Town Mama. She said, thank you. She got the chips. Big shout out to Town Mama. I said, Town Mama, I'm going to give you the chips at the Springfield reunion in Queens, going down July 23rd. Okay. It's going down, and I will be hosting it with Chucky Chuck. That's right. And you can see Eddie OJ and several other dope artists performing. And they got some guest performances, some special performances. Make sure y'all pull up and save the date. July 23rd, Springfield, Queens reunion is going down. But I had picked Town Mama as one of the, she won the chips. And I said I had to stay true to that and send that out. So yes, I'm glad you got them, and I'm glad that you love them. We're about to wrap this up. Tomorrow, are we coming on tomorrow?
I guess, whatever.
We're going to be talking about Ukraine. That on Talk Therapy. Well, you brought it up. You said you want to talk about it. I think we should talk about that, because we have to start realizing, where we spending our money. And it's
not where we're spending our money, where we're letting these politicians spend our money.
Right. Because that's also another way how we start working on fixing things, right? We got to look at the people that's in office, the people that's doing stuff. It's even bigger than us in a sense, because the people that's in our neighborhood, right? What you laughing at? The people in our neighborhood.
Hey.
Yes.
The Ukraine and the gas prices, that's a rip-off lie.
Yep.
That's a rip-off lie. What they doing to us with that, that's a lie. America does that every couple of years when something goes down, no matter where it goes down at. Oh, we got to raise the gas. That's bull crap, man.
Well, we're going to talk about this tomorrow on Talk Therapy Tuesdays at 8 p.m. We're going to be discussing that, talk about politicians and all that. And I guess what we can do to, change or fix or bring light to the situation, because like you just brought some light to it, Eddie OJ. It's a lie, and we should be discussing that, because I know one thing: I don't even want to get no damn gas. Okay, I'm looking at the gas prices, like the shit is crazy.
It's ridiculous.
Yo, it jumped 40 cents in 2 days.
I can't.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
I can't believe it. But any final words before we get up out of here from anybody?
Yep, I'll see y'all tomorrow.
Love y'all. See y'all soon.
Listen, and thank you guys so much. Thank y'all, Eddie OJ,
for having me on your show. I hope to participate in future shows. Love you guys. Shalom.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Bill, I got to call you right now.
Peace to you guys. We love you guys for even showing up. Thanks you.
And listen, guys, I want Town Mama brought this up, a round table. She said, I imagine y'all doing a round table discussing. I actually want to talk about that, and I want to do some events where we do stuff like that. So I'll be reaching out to y'all. We want people that can bring value and come with solutions while we discuss the problem. So again, thank y'all for calling in and being part of this conversation. We really appreciate it. And thank y'all for your support. We love y'all. And
from the ground up in the building, from the ground up. Yes, sir.
Let's get it.
Most
all right. Listen, thank you guys for tuning in. Again, make sure y'all hit that notification button. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube. Make sure you share our content with people that you know. And also make sure you pull up. I think we will be here tomorrow. If we don't, we'll let y'all know. Tomorrow's Talk Therapy Tuesdays. And I want to remind y'all that I do have my chips for sale. BossMoveChips.com. You could go on there, place your order. I did have to change it. If you're close by, I could meet you delivery for smaller packages, but for far out, the packages are bigger, because listen, it ain't me. These gas prices is high, so they raised the price on the shipping. It was costing me way too much to try to ship it. It was becoming actually negative, so I could not do that no more. But if you support me, I appreciate that. Hit me up, your girl, Lady Miz. Hood Court will be coming very soon. We should have our first case coming. He been blowing up the spot all day. He wasn't supposed to be doing it, but it's all good. We got our first case coming to Hood Court, guys. Make sure y'all pull up. It's going down. If you don't know what Hood Court is about, it's about people who violated the code of the streets, hood rules, and we got to bring it to, and it ain't about bad stuff, right? It's just about hood stuff. And it ain't bad. I just want to point that out, because people could be like, well, what's this about? It's just about, the hood rules. It could be anything where you breaking violation of the code of the streets, but we making it fun, And we bringing people to the hood court. We got our first case coming up soon. So make sure y'all tune in and stay involved with that. And you had something else to say?
Yeah. I just want to give a shout out to my cousin Tanya on the check-in. Thank you for the support.
Okay, yes. Big shout out to Ty. I didn't even know that was your cousin. What? Oh my God. How you not gonna tell me that?
Yeah,
What's up, cuz?
I'm telling you now.
She is definitely on point. Absolutely. Oh, and last but not least, if you guys haven't, please go check out. It's on all streaming platforms. Family Business. We got a compilation album. It's under various artists. You type in Family Business. We have a compilation out. It's 10 songs on that joint. You're going to get a variety of all different type of music. You will get your conscious music. You will get your hip hop, boom bap. You're going to get your R&B and your singing, a variety of everything on there. Make sure y'all check it out. Family Business. I put it out with several different artists. Ray got 8 bars on there. Stop playing. He coming through like, what y'all talking about? You know what I'm saying? He got 8 bars, baby. He got 8 bars. What? But nah, we out of here, y'all. Love y'all so much. Big shout out to UNG Radio. If y'all not following, go follow that brother. That's my brother from another mother over there on the West Coast. Appreciate y'all so much.
He's doing big things on the West Coast too.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And we about to come back out there to LA real soon. So we're going to be pulling up. All right. I'm done.
Yeah.
I see y'all tomorrow. If y'all pull up, we see y'all later.
Yeah, and cuz we'll talk to you about shipping to Connecticut.
All right, peace, y'all. Oh, I forgot to say one thing.
We hope you enjoyed your time with From the Ground Up Productions. We'll see you next time. Be sure to add our channel to your Roku list and listen to us on all streaming platforms. From the ground up. From the ground up. There's only one way to go from here.